When he starts to
let it-
talk with the talk with his fingers.
Yeah.
unself-consciously in the garden. The spirit that calls you to the appropriate dedicated sacrifice. So that's from the Cain and Abel story. The spirit that calls you to batten down the hatches if you're wise when the floods are coming. The spirit that warns you against producing totalitarian spirits of towers of Babel. The spirit that calls you to out of your father's tent, that's Abraham, to the adventure of your life. The spirit that calls you out of the tyranny of Egypt or any tyranny into the desert and then guides you through the desert. And then I'll skip the rest of the Old Testament for the sake of brevity and jump into the New Testament because there's a characterization of that which is in the highest place that's revolutionary that emerges out of the Old Testament. But it's the spirit that makes you voluntarily willing to bear the entire cross of human suffering and malevolence. And then that character that's at the top of the hierarchy of attention and action, that's characterized as God. You can say, well, is that a fiction? It's a fiction, but you have to retool your notion of fiction because fiction then becomes the deepest form of ethical abstraction. And so it's a meta-truth rather than a falsehood. And if Jonathan's right, and I think he is, and I think John Vervaeke agrees with this, is that if we have to perceive the world with its multiplicity of possibilities through the lens of an ethic, that ethic becomes the defining tool that we use, in fact, to extract even factual information out of the infinite array of information that presents itself to us. And so not only is science nested inside a fiction, in some sense, the fiction is more deeply true than the science, and it's so deeply true that without the fiction, you don't even have the precondition for science. Well, there is still a fiction.
Wait, hold on. Before anyone says
I'm
anything.
going to be more. The following tale of alien encounters is true, and by true, I mean false. It's all lies, but they're entertaining lies. And in the end, isn't that the real truth? The answer is no.
Jordan Peterson, this is your brain. It's an egg that's frying normally. This is your brain on Jung. What the fuck is you talking about, man? I don't know. He has lost the plot.
Dude, I've heard in there that Mr. like let's fight postmodernism in that like 90-second like BS whatever like jazz composition. He was able to say that religion, Christianity, and science are all fictions, and that we just need to like sort of patch these things together just as one big cope. That's essentially what I heard out of it. Like we just need something to order reality because existence is just mere chaos. So let's just patch these things together. That's a ship we're going to patch together, and it's just one big. It's one big fiction, but it's just one big cope. Like that's what I heard. He said God is a fiction. Like, what is he doing?
Right. With jazz composition.